So at the end of that last video, the very last second, I talked about how England might take over more Moroccan cities as they got back their 8th city, but I didn't realize that Morocco still had an army, and they could potentially take back that city, recapturing it, which would mean that America would be the leader with 8 cities, and England would go back down to 7. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing, because I know that's kind of hard to visualize. But yes, this is what happened. Morocco had a bunch of melee units, and they already put the city back into the red. I didn't realize that. I didn't put 2 and 2 together. They also have a ranged attack from this battleship. If they attack, well, this is going to be interesting. Let's just go ahead next turn and see what happens. This battleship could really help out. They've got units coming down from the north. They're not willing to just let the city slide by. They're going to go after England again. Now, what England needs to do, they process first. They need to run this ironclad away. Which I think they will. The ship of the line needs to try to attack something. Maybe destroy this guy. It's not going to be enough, though. Yeah, you know what? They will for sure take this back. And where is the English Navy at this point? So right now, in the AI's head, oh, I got this city. I'm good. They're probably going to run away. Or approach another city, which would be bad. Yes, and they approached another city, which would be bad. This guy instant healed, so it didn't matter. But Morocco will probably take this back if... Oh, and the first Manhattan Project has been built by Darius. Okay, so there you go. They took it back, and the ironclad was also destroyed in the process with all these artillery units. So, and a lot of the English, okay, so the English are coming back now. Now they're like, oh, crap. So this fleet's going to come back this way and try to attack. They're going to have to fight through a lot of the battleships. I'm surprised that Morocco has this many battleships. Very shocked, but good for them. First Manhattan Project has been built, like I said. And this doesn't matter. Let's see if they even have uranium. A lot of civs will just build it, whether they have the uranium or not. Let's go ahead and see. They don't, but I believe they have a 3rd city. Yes, they do have a 3rd city. And yes, they have 4 uranium. So they could use it. Which, in a map like this, uranium is huge because everyone is so consolidated into very small parts. Someone nuking Athens would destroy so many units. So, yeah, I mean, atomic bombs, nuclear missiles, they're a huge part of this campaign because everything is just so consolidated into a few, archipelago maps like this. It's just a big deal. So, if civs decide to use atomic bombs, which we've seen it happen before, not all the time, but it's happened before, captured by Carthage. Fez has been captured by Carthage. Oh, wow. So that doesn't mean too much, but Carthage is down to 4 cities. They probably would just let that city go. Carthage, on the other hand, is up to 4 cities now. Carthage is now at 4 cities, I should say. And Morocco is down to 4 cities. Still, a lot of nations around 4 cities. Which is a big deal because that 4 cities spot is not that far behind. I mean, it's starting to get far behind. Like, if you're still at 4 cities by turn 500, it's a little bit too far behind. That's if to say England doesn't break out. And you can remember me. You might hear me say that a lot. That's if England doesn't break out. Now, technically, England's in 2nd place. They've got 7 cities, but we all know how powerful they actually are. If England doesn't go to war, because America's number 1. They've got 8 cities. They're the ones to technically pass up. The problem is that America has no army, and I can't really see them going around at war with anybody else and taking over enough cities. I don't see much of a military here. I don't think they could do it. Make a proposal every single time. Jeez. And cultural heritage sites was not passed. So, yeah, I mean, I think America's done. I think they're done at 8. I think it's honestly better to be not in America's spot right now, because who are they going to go to war with right now? If they launch an attack from maybe the American island with New York and Boston located on it, then maybe. Might be able to take over Osaka. They might be able to... They'd have a tough time taking over Honolulu. I mean, Portugal's in a much better spot because they have more civs to go to war with. Who can Washington really go to war with right now? Morocco? Morocco's showing that they could stand up to the English fleet somewhat here. I mean, they're going to come back, and it's going to be tough, that second comeback, but I think they might even be able to hold on to these 4 cities. The Celts maybe. The Celts wouldn't be a terrible idea. You've got the strong Venetian Empire. Is it Spain? Was Spain at war with... No, Spain just has open borders, I don't think. I don't think Spain is at war with the Aztecs. I think they just have open borders. Portugal having a very, very tough time taking down the Aztecs. Not using those great war bombers. I mean, maybe they're... I don't even know. They're not even attacking. I don't know. So we have the Mayans building the Manhattan Project. Again, another very big deal. Mayans severely underrated so far. The civs to the south have been severely underrated. That's Songhai and the Mayans. Songhai's only at 4 cities, though, but he's got a pretty big military. The problem is that he sent them all the way across for a dumb sneak attack that I have no idea what was for. And they're mostly submarines anyways. Are you going to destroy this English fleet that's been bugged out for, like, 300 turns? Maybe. That'd be nice. I wouldn't mind that. Just get it out of the way. Because I think there was one English fleet that was bugged out, but it was either destroyed or, like, something snapped it out of it, I think, when the Greeks were declared war on by everybody. I think Persia and Babylon are still at war. They're still trying to figure that out. Arabia as well to the south, I think. Mongolia, Rome now, friends. Shoshone has denounced the Netherlands. Brazil has denounced the Zulu. Now, the Huns are going to have to figure out something because the alliance that they called in to the war against the Polish turned out that the Mayans somehow squeezed in there and grabbed it away from them. They kind of snuck in and totally cheated them out of that city, to be honest. But they can't really go to war with the Mayans because the Mayans are too far ahead in technology. They've got a lot of battleships themselves, a pretty huge fleet also. I don't know why the Mayans... This might be a huge disaster, but the Mayans might never take this Zulu city over. Technically, I think the Mayans are the only one that really control their fate right now. What they could do is they could go after the Zulu, they could go after Rome. I don't think the Aztecs are going to get destroyed here. Then they can go after the Aztecs. That would give them 8 cities. Just like that. And then they could go after the Huns. Screw it. The Mayans are in a really good spot because they're not really divided. They, all this stuff is open. There's no borders here, so they can easily go back and forth between their islands, the Chichen Itza, their capital, and everything off towards the west. They really control their destiny, but so does England. And I just say control your destiny because America doesn't, on the other hand. They really don't control their destiny. They're kind of done. I think they're done. That's what I think, though. I guess they could try to go to war with Portugal again, but Portugal is in a really good, spot to defend themselves with all the submarines that they've built up. Yep, they're making a mistake. England's not going after it, and they're going after the second city to the south, which is a problem. They should be attacking the same city they attacked in the first place. Is there anything else? Any new wars that have popped up? Still trying to see the results of the Songhai War. Songhai and Russia pieced out. No freaking way. No freaking way. Was that fleet only sent over for Russia, and now they're going to have to go back? Someone needs to go to war with Askia right now, just to show them I can never do that again. I think so. I think they're going to start to head back now. Or what happens if in their middle of like a sneak attack like that, usually they just stay there. Like this English fleet. That could have been what happened. So I think Russia and Assyria are still technically at war. I believe. Celts and Carthage. Okay, here we go. The Huns just declared war on Songhai. So someone did listen to me. With the Celts and Carthage. Uh-oh. Spain and Songhai. Wait a second. Okay, wait. You guys are actually listening to me right now. And everyone's declaring war on the Celts as well. We have the Huns in Morocco piecing out. We have the Cristo Redentor built by Portugal. There you go. Assyria going to war with the Celts. Here's the thing. The big one, though, is the Songhai Wars. Because they did screw themselves. They really screwed themselves. They're going to have to fight both the Huns and Spain to the north. Oh, man. Well, Spain is also in the same boat. They also messed up. So there's a dual coalition between the Celts and Songhai that everyone's kind of... Not everybody, but a lot of people are joining in on. So the Mayans both joining in on. The Byzantium both joining in on. I think we could see England do it. Unless they're really struggling. Well, they're struggling to get back to the city. They can't do it. The only one that... Yeah, I want to see if England joins in because that would be a significant power shift. The Huns might send over this huge fleet. They've got a huge fleet of privateers. The Celts have pieced out. So that's going to be for Songhai. The Huns won't be dealing with the Celts at all. They're going to be going straight after the Songhai. The Aztecs, the Mayans. The Mayans a big deal? No, I don't think so. The Mayans are... technically, the Mayans, they do border each other. Austria and the Shoshone. Okay, so all these wars are popping up. This is good. Here goes Spain. Here goes Spain. And Spain, I think, is at 2 cities. Really, really sure they're at like 2 cities. I didn't know Siam and America are at war. Okay, so some of these wars, they've probably been on for a long time. Some of the nations are just now starting to engage in them. Mongolia and Morocco piecing out. Arabia and the Shoshone piecing out. Historical landmarks. And we have the Celts plotting against the Huns. All right, let's see what happens. So this would be kind of the same situation This would be kind of bad if Spain maybe does take this over. Okay, now that the Austrian coalition's starting up again, but Austria's in a good spot to defend themselves. This would be bad because Spain would be less consolidated to defend against England. I mean, not that bad. Here's the problem right now, is if Songhai is able to get these submarines up north, then all this stuff is about to get just wrecked. Carthage is the big deal going after Austria because they do border each other, but Austria has a lot of submarines. It's really nothing. I don't think there's anything to take it over, Austria. I don't think it can be done. To be honest, I don't think it can happen. So here's Sigtuna, very, very low. The former Swedish city. Songhai I don't think has gone yet. Now, luckily for the Huns, they've got the riflemen here. They're not out in the ocean. So if these submarines start to just get wrecked or start to wreck the Spanish fleet and I guess the Spanish units, most wonderful people, that still doesn't change much. What does this say? Washington launched a sneak attack against somebody. Maybe it's for Songhai. Syria and Russia piecing out. Yeah, so the Spanish could get a whole bunch of their military units just wrecked right now, which it looks like they might. And but the Huns are going to be safe because they're going to just be boom, boom, boom. They can just melee attack Sigtuna. Obviously, they're going to still need the support though, which they will because they've got an artillery. They've got 2 possible artillery attacks from Spain, possibly 2, maybe more. In the future, maybe more. I don't think they have anything more right now. We also need to keep an eye on if there's any atomic bombs nearby. Want to see which civs have the bomb built. We're still a ways away from the bomb being built. I'm thinking still around turn 500 should be about the time we should see bombs. So Spain's still going at it. And actually the Huns have backed away, which is a bad idea. They'll come back though. Well, this is actually a pillaged tile, so they're going to have to... That's going to eat up a movement point. This will probably go to Spain then. Maybe if this Great War Infantry doesn't get destroyed. The composite bomb will get destroyed, which is good. It's a meat shield. They don't need it anyways. The catapult is also pretty far behind in technology, so they don't need that either. The Gatling gun will for sure get destroyed out also. Portugal, how's your war going? Pretty bad. Okay. No big surprise there. See, Spain, if you had this fleet, you'd be able to do a lot more damage to Songhai. Songhai would be done. Oh, wow. What happened? You gave up. You gave up. You backed away. England's at war with Songhai, right? I think. No, they didn't join in yet. They've been going after Morocco. They never got it back. Wow, England's at 7 cities. England remains at 7 cities. They were not able to get it back. I can't believe that. That came out of nowhere. Rome pieced out with the Aztecs, but they've been at war for a while. Spain ganging up against the small Songhai troop that's in Carthage. I don't know why. Maybe that's what that entire fleet was for, just to deal with that one Great War Infantry. I can see why. Oh, look at Venice doing something. Venice is about to do something. Maybe go after Rome, potentially. The Mayans, I think, are going to be a bit distracted, looking just too far towards the east. Korea now going after Austria. Let's see if Carthage is doing anything. Not really. Not really. And Korea doesn't really have much of their turtle ships anymore, so that's also a problem. Austria's... I think that was the big issue. In everything in this region was just too hard to take. We've got Brazil that's really almost unstoppable. We've got Russia, which we've seen Russia defend themselves against the entire world. Austria's been doing that from the last 200 turns. Same thing for Assyria. These nations are just so hard to take over because of the location that they're in, because of the geography of the region. They're very lucky in that sense. Rome really building stuff here. Okay, so Spain still has a chance. It's just going to be next. Oh, they'll take it over now. Boom. Okay, Spain, 3 cities. Not bad. Not bad. Spain, just watch yourself. Watch yourself. Although, a lot of the English Navy, I don't know where it went. It's like gone. A lot of the English Navy is just kind of evaporated. America's starting to rebuild slightly in Washington. There you go. Starting to build up a bigger and bigger fleet. All these wars now are just going to be tough. Like, we're seeing a lot of cities drop, but... Oh, man, a lot of people are building up a lot of different units. It is going to be tough for the AI to take anything over now. Now, Venice, what is this for, man? Are you going after your 5th city? How incredible would that be? I don't even want to play with the idea because it makes me too excited. If Venice were to win. It's possible. It really is possible. If they were to go after America right now, I mean, New York and Boston are almost completely undefended. Problem right now with Venice is that they don't have, they're not new. They're not newly into technology. Also, another big problem is they're right sandwiched in between the Mayans. And actually, that could, I didn't even consider that fact. Now that this fleet is going after something, the Mayans could easily go after Venice and pick off everything. Boom. Shifting the tide, giving them 9 cities, giving them the lead. Let's see, 5. Yeah, that would be 9. If they were to just, boom, swoop in. They don't even need to take all of them over. They could just take over 2 or 3. They could easily, this is a give-me city at any point. At any point when the Mayans want to, they can just take that city. Yeah, we'll see. Arabia has denounced Byzantium. Anything else going on? Nothing happening with Austria because it's just in the region of unstoppable cities, defendable cities, I don't know how you would say that. An unstoppable city, an immovable. No, I don't know. Now I'm starting to think of the whole paradox of an immovable object versus an unstoppable force. Yeah. Anyways, Portugal. Their war with the Aztecs was a disaster, but they're rebuilding, and this is where they rebuild from because Porto is an awesome city for production, I'm sure. It's an amazing population at 28 pop. Does Spain still have a bunch of population? Yep, Madrid's at 31. Look at the Mayans here going for the Celts. They don't have anything else, though. That's bad. Didn't even realize they were going after that city. Songhai's trying to take back Sigtuna, but they've got too many submarines. Nothing going on here with the Shoshone. The Persians are at war with the Shoshone, but that's it. Siam has denounced the Zulu. Byzantium. Who's Byzantium? Byzantium's got to be war with Songhai too. Byzantium's been really quiet. And also, this region wasn't much of a cluster as I initially thought. Only one city exchanged hands, and that was Sparta to India. And that was it. Speaking of India, I mean, they haven't really done anything. They've taken over one city, but they've had like a huge army the entire game, but they haven't done anything with it. Historical landmarks, again, not being passed. Portugal setting out a sneak attack for somebody. I'm more interested to see what Venice is doing, though. I think Venice might be already at war with somebody out here on the Eastern Hemisphere, but I don't know. Anyways, guys, I'm going to stop a little bit early. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.